To do next. Okay.
Yeah, what's next?
Nah, that's fair. That's fair. You said you're how old?
I'm 35.
35. Okay. Can I ask her another question? Do you have kids?
I do.
How many?
I have 3.
How many fathers?
I was once married.
So just one?
Yes.
How long were you married?
8 years. Do you have children?
No.
Do you want children?
Yes.
I'm done.
Somebody's poisoned the water hole. You've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Now get ready for...
Well, it looks like you got 3 fatherless daughters on treacherous waters. Miss Piggy, please don't be mad at me. Thank you.
Normally, this is around the time I'd say stop shedding tears and get up, but every now and then, a lesson has to come first. Most man guide vids involve a lot of roasting and laughing, and trust me when I say that's fun as hell, it's just the way men process the issues at hand. But this time, in addition to a little roasting, I'd like to talk about how, unlike modern women, men always have the opportunity to change their future. The thought came to me when I saw an email come in from a guy in his 30s. He'd had a lot of mental hurdles. In his own words, I've never been kissed, still got the V card, I've been trying to fix myself this whole time, been on medication, therapy, and exercise. I still don't like myself very much. The guy has struggled with unemployment, and most conversations make him feel like he's already hit middle age. He ends it with, I worry it's too late to have a good life, I don't know what to do. After giving permission to use this in a video, I think it's time to help a brother out, starting out with a key fact. Before we continue with this video, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to Giacchio, hopefully I said that right, probably butchered it, but anyway, he said, it's better to be alone than make a deal with her in which she has everything to gain by breaking it. And that goes perfectly with the email that I got. Don't invest unless it's worth investing in, and you got all the signs here on Man Guide. So thank you for the commenting, and don't forget to reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always, guys, I'll be picking one comment from each video. Could be the funniest one, the most liked, or just the wisest, so don't forget to leave a comment, and you could be our very next winner tomorrow. So be sure to hit that like and sub button too, as that helps out the channel so much, y'all. And also, guys, we got a backup channel now linked in the description. I'll be posting similar stuff there too, so subscribe to that just in case. Link is right below. Now, back to the video.
Embrace your masculinity.
Yesterday I was supposed to hang out with this guy, but it was getting kind of late, so I texted him and I was like, hey, it's kind of late, like maybe we should just like rain check.
Okay, rain check, no big deal, right?
And he responded saying, okay, sounds good.
Sounds good, but I'm sure this is not the end of the story.
Excuse me?
And here it comes.
And I was like, what, LOL? And he's like, you proposed to reschedule, like it's a bit late for you, said I was like respecting your boundaries and like, yeah, we can meet up another time.
Wonderful. A guy is respecting her boundaries. But there's more.
And I was like, you think you're funny? You're supposed to respond saying, no, I need to see you. I'm outside. Your doorman's blocking the door. Like, what?
Oh, I get it now. There's games apparently to be played, and one seems upset that the guy is not playing along.
He was like, wait, why are you mad that I was just like listening and like respecting what you wanted? And I was like, exactly.
Exactly what? Respecting boundaries is apparently a bad thing now? I'm beginning to believe that some women are single-handedly trying to convince the entire male population that in fact they are better off single. Because if you want to play games, ladies, play by yourself.
They are.
I do not want husband yet, but I do not want boyfriend that will not be husband. Because what is the point of boyfriend if not husband? But I do want date because date fun. But I don't want date and slip slop because slip slop and date equals evil man. And I do not want evil man because equals crazy me. So what to do? What to do?
When few words do trick.
I have a question. Do men come with communication or do we have to buy that separately?
No. Do women come with a decoder from all those hints y'all be speaking in? Maybe if you wouldn't speak in parables, somebody would communicate. I'm just saying.
It's solid advice, but there's a slim chance that any of them are willing to listen. To the guy who sent this email, without giving too much away, I know the mental stuff you've been dealing with prevents you from picking up on social cues, and that has probably left you extremely confused. So here's the thing. If it's any consolation, when it comes to women in the West, none of us know what they mean half the time either. We know what the motives are, ATM, alimony, child support, and whatever else, but it's hard to understand rants made by people who have no idea what their personal feelings actually are. It's like being given a puzzle with 50 missing pieces and still being told somehow you just have to make it work. As you probably already know, all men are rational by nature. Everything they hear is interpreted in the exact way it comes out. It's why we're so direct with one another, and it's why we handle issues quickly when we are in a totally masculine environment. Now, all women are like this. It doesn't matter if you're in the West or the East. They love giving signals, and they get frustrated when they don't get an ideal response. But the major difference, which is determined by the environment you're in, is how women feel about this signaling. It's what they do when a man asks that they give it to them straight. There are a lot of traditional places where women understand that men don't understand, and they're placed in a submissive role where they have to compromise. Unfortunately, based on the wording in your message, you, the emailer, are not in one of those places. You're in an environment where the culture hates clarity, where chicks leave everything coded, and they believe this somehow makes them a secret genius.
Why would God equip the average woman to be smarter than men? Do you think it's just for homeschooling their children?
Again, the claim that you made at first, which is that men and women have bell curves, the men's bell curve being wider than the woman's, would not imply that the average woman is smarter than the average man.
Oh, no. The
Exactly,
curve itself actually indicates, if you actually look at the curves at the top, the women's curve is taller than the men's curve.
But the IQ of the curve would be on the x-axis, right? That's where you get the extremes.
So are you disputing that on average women are more intelligent than men?
You just proved my point.
What about you? Who's the prize?
I think women. But hear me out. For me, like my man, like he's my prize, right? But like a lot more people competed for me than him. Like women, we attract men easily.
So you said that you're the prize because a lot more people competed for you, meaning that you have more options.
Yes.
Got you. I would say that out of all those options that you had, you chose him. He's a prize.
Nope.
Don DeMarco. Look, think about this. He ain't have a lot of options. He just took what he can get. So who's to say if he had a whole lot of options, you maybe not even would have been his first option.
Gotcha, bitch.
Look, man, I'm sure you've dealt with this all the time. Women thinking they are the prize, looking at graphs, misinterpreting them, and then deciding to claim that they're a gift from the universe that has yet to reach their full potential. But, as you can see, they're wrong. Not only are they wrong, but most of them couldn't pick up a spatula, let alone determine why they get picked up at a club, without the chance of finding anyone long-term. Why? Because they've never been the prize. To be the prize would mean that you would have some kind of value to bring to the table instead of just screaming, "I am the table." This, and many more traits, are what make men the prize. The kind of thing that makes you the prize. That is if you continue to work on yourself. You say in the email, "I've been trying to fix myself this whole time, been on medication, therapy, and exercise." If these are things that are essential for your growth, then you are off to a great start. However, the next step is to find manageable ways to make money. I know you say that employment has been a challenge, and in this feminist recession, this might just be one of the hardest tasks to complete. I'm here to tell you that most of us have been there. Many have used gyms to shower and sleep in their cars, sold items door to door in an embarrassing way, or picked up jobs in remote processing plants just to start building that nest egg. It is not shameful to be out of work. It's only shameful to stop trying. This should be your first major priority. Look everywhere you can. Don't stop. It doesn't matter how menial the gig is. And here's the great part. You're single, meaning you don't have to deal with this.
I'm not joking. I have asked the last 3 dudes I've dated for their bank account info on the first date.
I don't judge people's actions. I look at the intention behind it. So, why do you ask for that?
Because I only want to date a wealthy guy that has money.
Valid. So you're getting straight to the point.
I think, I have a job. I'm very successful. So I think I have everything right to be like, hi, are we on the same level or am I wasting my time?
You're just a parasite.
What's your name and occupation?
My name is Lauren. I do admin work.
My name's Stella. I'm a kindergarten teacher.
What's your salary like per year?
50 or 60?
I would say 65 to 70.
How important is your partner's income when it comes to dating?
If I can support myself and support you, I'm 100% for it. Like, love is love, and I'll support you through it. So money honestly doesn't mean a thing to me.
Money's important for me. I'm a teacher, so we make no money.
What's the minimum salary you'd be looking for in a partner?
200.
200K per year?
Yeah. You can't afford anything unless you're making at least $200,000 a year.
Do you have like a minimum salary you're expecting from your partner?
Like maybe like 90K.
Does your boyfriend currently make 200K plus?
No.
And this is why you're better off alone, at least at the starting point. Once you have this gig, whatever it may be, make sure that you fully immerse yourself. Learn everything you can about it, study it, identify with it, and most of all, be proud of it. There's a reason men who are unemployed tend to collapse under pressure more than those active in the market. It's because men need a purpose. It's in your nature, as a man, to provide. If not for a woman, which where you are now is a good thing, then for yourself. I've met guys who do everything you're doing right now. Working out, seeking help, getting high off motivational books, and anything else that falls under the enrichment category. But here's the thing. If a sword is sharpened and sits on a desk, it's a paperweight. If a room has no furniture or people in it, it's just an insulated box. If a man doesn't have a vocation, he ceases to feel like a man. Without the essence of masculinity, all of this exercise and treatment makes for good health, but it doesn't mean anything if a healthy body and mind aren't put to some use. And once you get there, with a job of any kind, you'll start to feel much better. The reason for this is that if you're truly busy, you won't have time to think about the mundane details. You won't have time to worry about anything except the journey. You'll become a monk, immune to this nonsense.
My body count is -2, and I don't think body count matters. I think that's stupid.
Dude, she's toast.
Do you think height matters in a guy?
Yeah, 100%.
So we're gonna have you guys write your body count on this whiteboard and then show the camera. So if you're uncomfortable with us judging you based on your body count, why is it right for you guys to judge based on height?
You're totally right. You're totally right.
Just take it back.
I take it back.
Really?
100%. I take it back.
The woman is sleeping with 3 other men. Should the man lay down his life for that woman?
I think a respectable man still would.
Is a man sacrificing his life for a woman chivalrous?
Yep.
Would you agree with me that a woman who's currently sleeping with 3 men and going on a first date with this new guy, would that be ladylike of her?
No.
So are women who are not ladylike deserving of chivalry?
Yes.
Why?
Because I believe in grace, and I also like part of.
But why would women have grace for men in that scenario? That's crazy because you're literally saying, well, men should have grace for women, and men should have this role in society where it's their natural inclination to provide and protect and lay down their life when there's no expectation on the women to do the same, to have any reciprocity.
I have expectations for women.
No, in this scenario, she's sleeping with 3 men, so she's not meeting that expectation, and yet there is the expectation on the man. That's what I'm saying, and I agree with this point. Listen, there's a lot of things I don't agree with, but I totally agree with the fact that you cannot expect a man to be a gentleman if you are not behaving as a lady, and I have learned that lesson the hard way.
So you believe in she's asking for it kind of things?
Whoa.
Here we go, buddy. It's time to talk about the line, I've never been kissed, still got the V card. Growing up as a guy, this one's tough. I mean, all your life you're going through school while every dude is doing their absolute best to get it over with. For those who don't get there, it can feel like you missed out on an integral part of the human experience. But trust me when I say the rush to the finish line, so to speak, is overrated, especially when it comes to the Western selection. Countless guys have gotten there early, turned into simps, and are now paying alimony and or child support for at least another decade. Many have gone club hopping and come back with an itch they can't scratch away, and a good number have thought that bumping in the back seat meant the girl would stick around, only for them to find someone else at the bar and to leave them pretty messed up. And look, I'm not saying that the act itself should be shunned and all of us should just be priests. What I am saying, in a way, this thing you highlighted as a loss could have easily saved you from a time bomb. You have, again in a way, been given a golden opportunity here. You're fit, and with a good gig, well, brother, you have a blank slate. You're not tormented like a lot of guys are because they are chasing the one-dimensional victory. You got the chance to start and end with quality, something the modern woman just can't provide.
Hey, babe.
Hey, baby.
You ain't cooked and clean all day?
This ain't the 1900s. What I look like cooking and cleaning? Who gonna do that?
Hilarious.
Do you notice that your husband is like sweeter, more patient with the kids when you're treating him well? And not even just with the kids. I feel like overall, I feel like my husband is more willing to endure life's foolishness. He's more willing to do little sweet favors for me. He's more willing to show up for me without me having to ask and to do those little things when I'm actually treating him well.
Like, am I tripping? You know, it's almost as if when women reciprocate energy and effort into their man, they get, you know, better treatment from their man. You know, almost as if when men treat and, reciprocate their energy to their woman, it's almost as if they'll get, you know, the same energy from their woman. You know, it's almost as if like when you treat people decently, people tend to treat the person that's treating them decently also. Mind-blowing, right?
This is true. This is life. This is what women around you don't understand. Brother, many people before you have sought pleasure, thought they got it, and then ended up with women like these who discover what a woman's supposed to be, like they just solved a complex equation. When it comes to these chicks, the blind lead the blind. Consider what you have as a gift, as you never had to crawl into the abyss to see it for yourself, if you play your cards right. If you watch enough of Man Guide, I promise we do the heavy lifting there for you. The channel has never argued that all the women on the planet are a lost cause. If that were the case, nobody will be left. That said, there's a good chance that the women in your area are insanely problematic, and shacking up with one to check off a superficial box just might land you in a situation you'll be praying to escape. Don't believe me? Here's some more.
So my body count is 500, and it got me thinking, what is the average person's? Like,
Lord have mercy, I need to go tell my daughter I love her and give her a hug. Sweet Pea, Daddy's on the way. We ain't gonna have this kind of mistake. Hell no.
Hey! Think you better move away from that woman. Oh.
Bingo!
Why are today's women so filled with hatred towards men, yet they will still engage with men for attention and resources?
Because women are desperate sometimes. Not me, though.
Because everybody needs to survive. Everyone needs to survive, period. But I think it's scarier for women nowadays just because there's a lot of different energies, like male energies. And as a woman, I can say I'd choose the bear any day.
It's a love-hate relationship. Like, if you hate it, you still got to be about it.
Because a man is going to provide me what I allow him and want him to, whether I give him what he wants or not. It's all about the power of seduction.
So let's go down the hypothetical list. You're now a man in good health, got a good job, and nobody's looking at you with dollar signs in their eyes. Congratulations, you've almost achieved the masculine dream. The only part left is this little note you left at the end here. I worry it's too late to have a good life. I don't know what to do. To this I say, man, you are young. I've been all over the world, and I'm happy to tell you that I've seen thousands of guys, some in their mid-60s who have achieved a fresh start with a traditional woman, one that doesn't throw a pan across the room when you say the food is cold. And you say you don't know what to do. Well, there's a remedy for that as well, with a few life messages for you to take home.
You know, there's a million fine-looking women in the world, dude, but they don't all bring you lasagna at work. Most of them just cheat on you.
A woman said to me the other day, what do you think is one of the #1 dating problems? I said, if I tell you, you ain't gonna wanna hear it. She said, no. I said, I'm gonna tell you. She said, what? I said, in most cases, a man has to change for a relationship because women want men to be a particular way, but anytime a man remotely tells them about themselves of what they want, you have to accept them for them. And that's a problem. You want a grown person to change for you, but you're not willing to change for the grown-up. In most cases, most men don't complain a lot about what they want. You talk about in most cases, lady, you get in your feelings, you're in denial. Unless you dated some very weak men. If you dated some very weak men, please do not jump in this conversation because you're going to use your very weak man and make that the standard. In most cases, most men complain less about what they want in relationships. And most women think they're better in relationships they are because most men don't complain as much. Most men, when they start complaining about things that are bothering them, is when things are extremely bothering them. Most women nitpick about everything in a relationship, always complaining. You could take a woman who had a man that paid no bills and now you paying all the bills and they'll still find something to complain about.
Like everyone else, you want to learn the way to win, but never to accept the way to lose. To accept defeat, to learn to die is to be liberated from it. You must free your ambitious mind and learn the art of dying.
And here's why these tenets are going to save you from the modern woman and yourself. My friend, this is not the end. This isn't even the middle of the journey. It's just the start. It's the beginning. I mean, come on. You're a man, for God's sake. Your story, our story, the masculine story is rife with failure. This difficult situation you've been given, at its core, is very similar to every other man's trial. Right now, you're adrift. You have no paddles, but that shouldn't stop you from dropping down and using your own hands. That is, after all, what makes the man the struggle. The acceptance that life will always be hard and that happiness is not something to be preserved, but appreciated when it pops up in those brief moments. Women don't have the liberty, like we do, to change the future. That's the power of masculinity. Harness that. Work on it until you're completely exhausted every day for the rest of your waking life. This is the way. I promise you won't regret it. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say I appreciate you. So don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to win, and hit that subscribe button for daily videos. And if you could take a quick sec to subscribe to the second channel, Man Guide Reacts, link is right down below in the description, so we can be sure that the message will keep on reaching the new men out there. I appreciate all the support, y'all.